All right, so good evening, everyone. I'm gonna start the meeting right now to respect everybody's time. So today is Tuesday, March 5th. It is 7:01 p.m. and this is the legislative meeting of Mayor and Council for the state of Rainier, and it's a virtual meeting. So Jared Stolfus. Jared, are you here?
Yeah, sorry, here.
Valerie?
I'm here.
Luke? Yeah, I don't see Luke yet. Danielle?
Here.
All right, so when Luke comes in, log him in. So we have quorum. Item number 1, the Pledge of Allegiance. Jared, can you step up as senior council member to lead the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. So moving on to item number 2, review of the agenda. Hold on, I see one more person has joined us. Jared, can you go ahead and review the agenda for us as well until Luke comes in? Oh, thank you, Luke.
Just in time.
Oh yeah, we're number 2 already.
Oh,
but
man.
Go ahead and read through the agenda, please.
Thank you. This is the agenda for the legislative meeting of the mayor and city council for Tuesday, March 5th, 2024 at 7 p.m. It's a virtual meeting. 1 is the call to order, Pledge of Allegiance. 2 is a review of the agenda. 3, mayor and city council member event announcements. 4, presentation and discussion on building application for 4100 30th Street. 5, public comment. Under new business, we have 6, reappointment of Ms. Emerson Lajoie and Mr. Robert Vanderbilt to the Ethics Commission for a vote. 7, first reading of ordinance number 01-2024, budget amendment number 1. 8, presentation and discussion on the phase 2 completion of the project renovation of Potts Hall / Welcome Center. The city manager, Koresh Kamali, will present and make a recommendation to the mayor and council on the completion of Potts Hall Welcome Center. 9, discussion and approval on using funds from line item 5505, city-sponsored meetings, to purchase snacks for quarterly community meetings, 5-minute minutes. Councilmember Danielle Carter will ask for council for approval on using line item 5501 to purchase snacks for a quarterly community meeting for Ward 1. 10, vote on approval of the minutes, 5 minutes. The mayor and council will vote on approving the minutes for January 16th, 2024 work session and the February 6th, 2024 legislative meeting. And 11 is adjournment.
Thank you so much. There is one edit we're going to be making on number 6, a reappointment. We are going to be reappointing only Ms. Lajoie tonight. Okay, so Millie, can you make that correction? All right, is there anything else for the good of the order when it comes to the agenda, council? Thumbs up if we're good. So we can move on to the next one. See, look, yes. Jared, I don't see nothing yet. We're good. Valerie, we're good? Good. Gary, you good? Gary's debating. Well, I think that's a yes.
Sorry, I thought you originally you were talking to Jared from staff. Sorry. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Thank you. All right, Millie, you made the correction. All right, perfect. So I'm going to move the agenda to be approved with the edit. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Objections, abstention, hearing none. The agenda is going to move forward as edited. Okay. All right, moving on to number 3, mayor and councilmember events announcements. All right, so we're going to start with Luke. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I actually do not have an announcement quite yet, although the Green Team is looking into organizing a cleaning of the forest trail next to the food forest, but have not nailed down the date yet. But we will get that out through Pink when we do have that date nailed down. Thank you.
Perfect. I'll also send you a date because Elizabeth Stanton is doing volunteer service hours, so just in case they line up with you guys, okay?
Perfect.
So FYI, I'll send that tonight, just in case. All right, perfect. Danielle, then Ward 2.
Thank you. I will be hosting my quarterly Ward 1 community meeting on Thursday, March 28th at the Bunker Hill Fire Department from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m., just in time for budget season. If you're interested, if you're to come out and talk about what's going on in the community or the budget, this is a great time to do it. CERT will also be holding their monthly meeting on Monday, March 25th in the police station community room starting at 7:30. If you have any questions, you can email them at CERT, C-E-R-T, Mount Rainier @gmail.com. Thank you.
Valerie Jarrett.
Thank you. The Recreation Committee has an event in April 20th at 11 a.m. They're doing a community cleanup and brunch. So I hope we can put that onto the city agenda going forward so that we can make sure we get a good turnout. But that's the only event I have right now. So thank you.
Thank you, Valerie Jarrett.
Yep. The Legacy Mixed Use Town Center is going to be reconvening. We've had about 5 or 6 months without any applications. The committee and park and planning, but we'll be reconvening for the first time this year since we had 2 new appointments on March 13th. That's next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. As far as my announcements, we continue working very heavily with our legislative team to make sure that we're giving testimony. I think there's at least 3 or 4 bills I'm going to testify this week. Quite a bit of work. The other thing is last week I was part of the mayor's conference. Some of you guys are aware that there was a threat in Annapolis where we got locked down. There was a threat of firearms in the Capitol, and big thank you to the Maryland Municipal League staff, the governor, lieutenant governor staff. They allow us to shelter in place at the governor's house because we usually have a reception with them, right? So, but the mayors were sheltering in place and talking about mayors all over the state, right? As well as Annapolis PD, Maryland Capital PD, and my Rainier PD, who also make sure that I was fine and collaborate in any way they could with the other entities. But, you know, we were well taken care of. But regardless of what it is a little bit nerve-wracking because it's a safety issue, right? As far as we know, like it was a false alarm, but all the teams were ready to go. And to be under lockdown in the governor's, house with very skilled mayors from around the state in various, backgrounds is not the worst place to be locked up. But big thank you to everybody else that make sure we were fine. And it was almost 3 hours that we were there trying to figure out what else was going on. But in saying that, we've been having a good legislative session. We're more than halfway done. And we continue working, very, very hard. The other thing is like PGCMA has continued to meet with all the different people. We should be having a meeting eventually with, county executive. So that's in the works still. Jared and I are representatives for PGCMA, so we'll be attending once they let us know the date in. And you're part of the legislative committee for PGCMA, the Prince George's County Municipal Association. So we meet every Monday, 8 a.m. So have long days and long nights. But in saying that, it's a lot of legislative work, a lot of community. The other thing is like we hosted a community meeting on Perry this Saturday. It was very well attended as we continue to work on reaching out to the community and having their buying input. LID presented. Mr. Kamali was also there as part of the team. They had questions for our chief of police, the design team, and also the fire department. Thank you also to Mount Rainier Volunteer Fire Department that were also present there. We continue collaborating with them before the meeting, through the meeting, and after the meeting. So make sure we take into account their concerns as well. All right. Other than that, I will leave it like that. But we continue advocating for funding for the various projects, but also make sure that our voice is being heard in Annapolis and networking with the various legislators at all levels when it comes to the state of Maryland and nationwide. So we should be meeting with a couple of them this upcoming week as well. All right. And saying that, I'll leave it at that because I don't plan to spend here the whole night, guys. It's been a lot of work on my other end. All right. So for upcoming events, we have our public budget hearing March 23rd, The egg hunt, April 6th, 11 to 2 at the Nature Center. My Rainier Day is May 18th. Millie, can you make sure that for the next agenda, the recreation community events are also added to it, so that will help with publicizing? And one more other important thing, big welcome to our principal from Mount Rainier Elementary. She was off in leave, but she is back. We're happy to have her. She's been a very strong community ally for many years. So we're happy to have you, Principal Till. And on my page and at the Mount Rainier PTO page, there is a wish list for supplies. So if anybody wants to help fulfill the supplies of the elementaries, I'm also going to share it with the city so we could blast it out so we could help them. It's no big surprise that most of the time, like the teachers come out of their pockets to get the help they need. You know, schools are usually underfunded, so we need to make sure we do everything we can to help them as a community as well. All right. So I'll leave it as that one. And Valerie already covered the cleanup, and Pride event is what I don't have it in front of me. Pride event again is coming as well, right, Valerie?
Yes, the Recreation Committee is working to plan and get ready for promoting the Pride Parade. So that should be coming soon as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And the other thing is, like, before I forget, we did have a partnership with Rainier PTO and Thomaston PTO. It was a very beautiful event when we had a movie and discussion. Both schools have done a lot of work when it comes to Black History Month. I have attended various of their events, not just after school, but through the school day. So that's been very positive. Some of the neighbors also through backyard get together. I got to go and it was really lovely. Ms. Intisar, thank you so much for hosting it. I had a lot of fun, so thank you for that as well. And in saying that, happy Women's Month. All right. So look forward to more events coming from the county and the various entities. And we always try to keep busy and celebrating. And tomorrow I'm going to one of the galas of a well-renowned organization as well, Thursday night. So I'll give you guys more information on next month. All right. Okay. Moving on to item number 4, presentation discussion of building application for 4100 30th Street, Mount Rainier, MD 20712. Mayor and Council will have presentation of the owner of 4100 30th Street. So Alma, I'm going to pass it first to you so you can introduce us to who's here. And then we'll move on to the owner. Okay. Hello, Director. Are you here? Hi, Alma.
Yes. Hi. Good evening, Mayor and Council, City Manager, and residents. Thank you for having us one more time. We're here to actually do a presentation on property 4100 30th Street, and I know we have Mr. Barry Stahl here to give us a small presentation on this property.
Hello, Barry. We definitely know who you are. So can you put the screen, the items, Melissa, please, on the screen? And Barry, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to present our proposal for renovation of our home that I live with my wife, Kathy Schoenberger, at 4100 30th Street. I'll give you a little bit of backstory, context. Kathy and her late husband, Gabriel Ianza, bought the house 30 years ago. Then Kathy and I married about 10 years ago. And particularly, I think, for a late in life marriage, there's a lot to talk about. Should we move to somewhere where the cost of living is cheaper? Should we move to a retirement community? Something along those lines. But I came to love Mount Rainier, get involved with civic activities, as many of you know. Kathy has been in this house for 30 years and has loved it and has wanted to renovate it for all these years. So our decision was to stay, to invest in the city, invest in the community, invest in the house, and we hope that you will approve of our plans. Like many 100-year-old house here in town, the house needs a fair amount of work, and we've decided to put money into the house. It needs a new kitchen. The original kitchen was tiny, and no work had been done on it for 30 years since it was flipped. The outside stairway is wood and it's rotting and needs to be replaced. Plumbing and electrical all throughout the house, likewise, is aged and I might even say hazardous. So all that needed to be done, and we've decided that we'd like to do it, and so we're asking for a permit to proceed on the work. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Perfect.
Just to add, we had a Mount Rainier architect, Nathan Sederoff, who many of you know, draw up the plans for it. We have a local builder lined up, Pete McAvoy, to do the work. I'm sure some of them. And we've gotten approval from the Maryland Historical Trust for our plans and a permit from the county. So that's the status.
Perfect. Thank you, Barry. Alma, is there anything else we need to know that you need to add before I go to the Brian Nedler information session with Luke?
No, Mayor. Everything is good and in order.
I just realized Brian Nedler is with us. Hi, Brian. So you're aware we call it a Brian Nedler clause, and Luke usually reads it. It might sound familiar to you. Go ahead, Luke. You go ahead and spill your Brian Nedler quote. No pressure.
I love that a lot of this I'm saying to Barry too, which is fun. So no starting work before 8 a.m., no starting work after 8 p.m., or we get angry calls. And if we get angry calls, then you get angry calls. We love our trees in Mount Rainier, Barry. Okay, so I want you to be aware of this. So that we have an urban forest code. So if there's any construction on the outside that affects any trees, Alma can tell you whether those trees are covered by the code. Or whether you need to do any protective fencing around those trees. If you do excavating out on the outside of the building, be mindful of giant piles of clay and how that can affect stormwater runoff on your neighbor's property or out into the sidewalk. Just make sure those are in an area where that stormwater runoff is not getting into those areas, so we don't have rivers of clay coming into neighbors' yards or down onto the streets. And I think that's it. But because Mr. Nedler is here, he's going to tell me I missed something. So I'm nervous.
All right, perfect. I know it is interesting because Barry has worked so heavily on the trees for the city of Mount Rainier and native plant and everything else. See, Brian gave you an excellent job, Luke, so you survived. See, Brian's ears are going to be ringing every time we have somebody in front. All right, perfect. So, Barry, do you have any questions regarding anything that Luke told you? Definitely not new information for you because you have helped us create a lot of those laws.
No, I'm well aware of that, but I appreciate the reminder because I'm a well-meaning elderly man who sometimes is forgetful.
All right, perfect. All right, we're gonna go with Ward 2. Jared, Valerie, anything to add?
No, just Barry, you're the most prepared, most knowledgeable, I think, of anyone that comes before the city in terms of permits and especially impacts to caring for wildlife and vegetation and so forth. So nothing to add, just thank you for your time tonight, and thank you for working to improve our community. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jared.
Valerie?
Yeah, thank you. I don't have anything to add. I just I thank you for investing in the community, and I'm glad you're going to stay.
Perfect. Danielle?
Yes, I'm excited for you guys to make these improvements to your home. Thank you for coming and sharing them with us.
Luke, is there anything else you want to add? I mean, I just asked you to do the spiel, but is there anything you're good? All right, Barry, that's just basically, you just come to us once you get all the approvals and code is good with you, then they'll release the license, all the permits to you. All right, so thank you so much. And we love having you and Kathy here in the neighborhood. And thank you for all the endless hours of volunteer service that you do as well. And as you can tell, we always tell everybody the whole spiel so they know that we take care of our trees, all right? So we need to get an A+ approval.
Thank you,
Okay.
Selena, and it's a pleasure and a privilege.
Perfect. Have a good night, Barry. Take care.
Good night.
Okay, so I have, there's another, I am so sorry to see. It says from former Mayor and Councilmember Brian Nedler, be sure that they apply for the civic rehab tax credit since it is already approved by the Maryland Historical Trust. Okay, so Alma, can you please make sure to let Barry that? Barry, you heard that as well, right? I hope before you logged out. All right, Alma, can you please follow up with that one?
Sure thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Alma. Alma, you're here as much as we are. You
I
know?
know. I enjoy it.
I'm like, and I'll be surprised if I see a meeting that you're not here. But are you on later on the agenda, or this is the only item?
No, this is the only item, Mayor.
All right, perfect. Have a good night, Alma. Thank you for everything as well. And please extend a thank you to your whole team for doing the wonderful work, okay?
We'll do so. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Perfect. Moving on to item number 5, public comment. Can you put it down to the public comment spiel, Melly? Okay. There you go. The mayor and council invite and welcome comments to public meeting. The mayor will preside over. Officers will recognize you. Please introduce yourself, spelling your last name. For record purpose, give the name of the street and block number as an example, 4300 block of 34th Street. Public comment has a limit of 3 minutes per speaker unless otherwise agreed by mayor and council, and we agreed to 3 for today. While speaking, please maintain courteous tone and avoid personal attacks. If you wish to lodge a complaint about the performance or conduct of any city employee, bring it back to the attention of our city manager, Mr. Kamali, who will look into the matter in response to you. As a courtesy to the rest of the business, council requests that speakers not use a specific address or names of individuals when describing a situation or making a complaint, noting the block preference over a specific address is preferred. Code compliance, public safety should first be brought up to appropriate department, or actually to our city manager, to our directors, and to one of your council members or mayor. So we need to edit that one a little bit. All right, perfect. Thank you. So I'm going to open it up for public comments. Do we have anybody for public comments? And if you're here for public comments and you're in the chat, put your first and last name on it. Okay, in the meantime, is there anything on Facebook, Jared? Welcome back, Jared. All right, perfect. Okay, I see nothing on the chat at this moment, guys, so we will be closing public comments, okay? Moving on to new business, we have the reappointment of Ms. Emerson Lajoie to the Ethics Commission. We're in council to reappoint Ms. Lajoie to the Ethics Commission. Ms. Lajoie is not feeling very well, so she won't be here virtually. But I would like to make a motion to approve Ms. Emerson Lajoie to the Ethics Commission. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any objections, abstentions? Hearing none, the appointment moves forward unanimously. So thank you again, Emerson, for volunteering for the Ethics Committee. All right, and hold on. All right, can you move the screen a little bit over, Melly? Oh, I think I moved it. Okay. Moving on to the next item, first reading of Ordinance 01-2024 Budget Amendment number 1. This is a 15 minutes. Mayor and Council will have the first reading of Ordinance number 1-2024. Can you put it on screen, please? Oh, there it is. All right, so I'm gonna ask our vice mayor to read through it and go through every single line. Look, since the first reading, and then on the bottom when it says "I, Selena," then stop. Okay, because it's kind of awkward for you to say that. All right, go ahead. The floor is yours, Luke.
Okay. This is City of Mount Rainier Ordinance number 01-2024, Budget Amendment number 1, authorizing a movement of funds in the fiscal year 24 budget between line items. Whereas City of Mount Rainier budget for FY24 was adopted by Ordinance 05-2023 in May 2023, and whereas it has been deemed necessary to transfer funds between line items to meet current demand for goods and service, and now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Mount Rainier, Maryland, that the following transfer of funds between appropriations shall be made to the fiscal year 2024 budget of the City of Mount Rainier. From line item 5412, temporary labor, in the amount of $25,000, to line item 5001, overtime pay, in the amount of $25,000. This ordinance is adopted by the City Council of Mount Rainier, whatever day we decide to approve of this.
Okay, perfect. This is a very short one, guys. So it is a reading. I'm gonna go, Council, if you have any questions, ask them, but if not, move forward to the next item, okay? So can you go back to the agenda, Melly, in the meantime? Thank you so much. Again, it's the first reading of the ordinance 01-2024, budget amendment number 1. So I'm going to open up the floor if you have a question. If not, you guys could pass. Okay. Lucas, your mic open.
No question. Sorry, Mayor. You can close it.
Right. Mr. Kamali, I apologize, Council. Mr. Kamali, is there anything you need to add to this or?
No,
Go ahead.
Mayor, thank you. Thank you. No, everything is clear. We're trying to just allocate the money to that line item for the overtime because code are doing a lot of inspections and we need to cover their hours. So I do appreciate Mayor and Council in this regard.
Thank you, Mr. Kamali. I apologize. I should have gone to you first after reading it. Okay. But thank you for calling it to my attention. All right. Jared?
Nothing to add. Thank you.
Perfect. Valerie?
Nothing to add. Thank you, Mr. Kamali, for clarifying.
Okay. Danielle? Oh, sorry, Valerie. Danielle?
Yeah, no, thank you for clarifying, Mr. Kamali. Yeah, no questions. Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Kamali, thank you for presenting this to us. It's the first reading. There's no vote. So I'm seeing that there's no questions and I don't see nothing from the public. All right. We're moving on to item number 8. Presentation and discussion on phase 2, completion of the project, renovation of Potts Hall Welcome Center, 15 minutes. Our city manager, Mr. Kamali, will present and make a recommendation to the mayor and council on the completion of Potts Hall / Welcome Center. So, Mr. Kamali, can you give us a little bit of background on phase 1?
Sure.
And move on to phase 2, so that way, like if anybody needs a little bit of feedback or history background, we could get it. We could get them catch up. So go ahead. The floor is yours, Mr. Kamali.
All right. Thank you, Mayor and Council, and Mr. Brian Nedler. I know that he's here for this item, so I just want to give him some update. As you all know, that last year we started the renovation of the Potts Hall, and Mayor and Council decided to do the renovation in 2 phases. Phase 1 was awarded to Monarch Construction with $3,040,079, and the project is on the right track. And the project we're expecting to be completed by hopefully end of May or mid-June. So at the same time, if we hire a contractor can do the work with phase 2, because phase 2 is all interior work. So we put the bid out, and by November 17, we received only 2 proposals. Melissa, could you please bring the table? And on November 17, we received only 2 proposals, one from Monarch, the existing contractor, and the other one is from USource. As you see it on the screen, that Monarch has the lowest bid price, which is $3,382,046, and USource has $3,796,400. After reviewing all the documents and the proposals with the architects, we are recommending Monarch to be awarded for phase 2 to mayor and council with the lowest bid, and they have proven that they can do the job. And the starting date for phase 2, they're anticipating May, and the project will be completed by November 2024, hopefully, if the weather and everything goes well. So we're looking at November or December or maybe January next year. The city hall can use the new facility, and I do appreciate mayor and council to agree to move forward with this project, because delaying the project is going to cost the city more money. That's all I have, and if you have any question, I'll be glad to answer.
Mr. Kamali, can you make sure you address the fact that we submitted the bids through open market and met every requirement that was asked for us in order to make sure we had a full process?
Yeah, usually when the construction is more than $50,000, the state are requiring us to put the information on e-marketplace, and that was placed over there, and we left it for 5 weeks. We gave everybody a fair chance to apply for it, And unfortunately, we got only two contractors with their proposal, which you see it on the screen. And always, Mayor and Council, I just want to let you know that I work with the legal team to make sure that the city is covered, and want to make sure that always we take the right steps to do any projects.
Thank you, Mr. Kamali. I just wanted to I know that, and the council knows that, but I wanted to make sure it's on the record, so that way, if there's a question on why two people that, that we definitely work with on it, but it was so basically any of the people that are trying to do work with any city on the state will have to go to the same location. And that's one of the steps that we have make sure that we take to make sure procurement is fair, transparent, and we give it enough chance to people to apply for the projects and make sure we meet even our own standards. All right. So anything else, Mr. Kamali?
Yeah, can I add something on the site visit? We had 6 contractors that they have seen the ad, but unfortunately, we only received 2 proposals.
Perfect. And thank you, Mr. Kamali, for making sure that it's clear. And sometimes what happens is it's a lot of work. It is a historical building. We did have a clearance to work on our building, right? It is phase 2. So exactly. I'm going to open it up to council, but I wanted to make sure that it was in the record stated because we have a process of having X amount of bids, but we've done our due diligence, and it's been clear also through our legal team that this is the proposal, and you heard the recommendation from our city manager. All right, so I'm going to start with Jared.
Yep. No, thank you, Mr. Kamali. Much appreciated, and thank you for a thorough and lengthy, but a thorough process, ensuring that we had a large pool of potential interest, and that we had a competitive bid marketplace at the end of it, and that we of course followed all of state, federal, state, and other requirements as well. So I just want to kind of echo what Selena said. I mean, I've put out in previous shows, put out a number of public works projects before. A lot of times you have a decent pool, then you have a smaller pool of folks that actually bids, depending on timing, staffing, availability, salient characteristics of the project, which in our case, we have a exciting but a very, very unique legacy building as well. So appreciate this. Really excited for the project to move forward. I know it's really critical for getting a civic space available again, and allowing us to move some pieces in our allowing us to kind of move things around in our downtown and get staff consolidated in a single location. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. We're going to go Danielle, Valerie, and Luke, and Brian.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Kamali. And I want to thank you personally for helping me understand the phases and the finances, because I wasn't here for all of that original. But I have been here since the discussion started to get this renovated. So I'm looking forward to seeing this project completed after so many years. And I do appreciate all your hard work on it. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Go ahead. If I have to take a pause, just follow the numbers, because I'm still, my throat's still having issue, guys.
Okay.
I'm trying to get better. Go on.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Kamali. I think the analysis is a good one. I think Monarch has worked on this project before, and I think it makes sense to move forward with the same company so we get the same level of work. But I appreciated looking through the different bids. So thank you for sending those around. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.
Go ahead, Luke.
Thank you. No, Mr. Kamali, I know this has been a lot of work, and I appreciate you pushing us to get this over this finish line. I'm definitely in support of going with Monarch and trying to get this done in 2024. I think that would just be a terrific thing. Thank you all.
Perfect. Brian, do you have something to add? Questions from Mr. Netler. Are the solar panels and geothermal still included in the project?
All right, solar panel, we just sent the grant application yesterday, and we're in communication with the Maryland Historic Trust to make sure that we're allowed to have the solar panel on the building. But due to some cost and experience that we had with geothermal at the police station, we had to revise it and just go with the conventional HVAC system. I don't know if that one satisfied your question, Brian, or not. I think the next question, if I see it correctly, phase 2 right now, according to the schedule, is going to be finished by end of May or June 15. They're on the right track, but since they're going to be selected, they can start the work in May and go inside and start, doing the inside work and then finish the outside. So that's going to help us to finish the project, because we were thinking the project is going to be more than 18 months, but right now we're going to finish the project hopefully according to work schedule by November, and I give it another year for another month for the cushion and cleaning. Hopefully by January 25, the city hall will be relocated at the new Welcome Center and Potts Hall.
Mr. Kamali, the follow-up question from Brian was, did Monarch completed phase 1 under budget?
Oh, I'm sorry, because I cannot see it. I don't have my reading glasses, so I'm sorry. Right now, I cannot give you a right answer because there were some change orders, and definitely once you start a project with the old building like City Hall and Potts Hall, you're not gonna guarantee that you're gonna even see the $3 million, the same price that is in the contract. No, we did have some change orders, and I think it could go, probably $100,000 more than what we have in the contract.
So they stuck as close as we can, but once we open up the stuff, we found other things that needed to be worked on, and we wanted to make sure we address the building completely because we don't want to go back and insurance. So perfect.
Yeah, Mayor, there are some hidden costs that you don't see it when you sign a contract, and then you open the project, you see that you have to do extra work, which is going to cost the city. But so far, we have had close to $100,000, change order. So,
and this is with us minimizing as much as we can. So definitely every penny's been accounted for, talked about, and pushed through. And if you guys see, the windows are already, they're already up in the building.
Columns are there. Everything is there. Just give it another month. You see a better picture of what's all.
So can you put the agenda up, Melly? So is there any other questions from the community on Facebook, Jared? No, Council? Okay, perfect. So this was a presentation and discussion. How are we feeling? We're good with Mr. Kamali moving forward with the bid? I see Danielle, yes. Luke, yes. Jared, yes. Valerie? Yes. So unanimously, Mr. Kamali, you have your marching orders. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Discussion approval on using funds from line. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Line item 5505. City sponsor meetings to purchase snacks for quarterly community meetings. 5 minutes. Councilor Carter will ask the council for approval using line item 5503. Good night, Brian. Good to see you here. To purchase snacks for her quarterly community meeting for Ward 1. All right, Danielle, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I'm having my, I started this when I first got elected to do a community meeting once a quarter and invite residents from Ward 1 out. And we're doing it on March 28th at Bunker Hill. I'm hoping to have a good conversation. This will be after the community budget, the public budget hearing. So I'm hoping to get, a lot of residents out to talk budget and get them wonky on local stuff. So I would like to get approval, if I could, to purchase some snacks and drinks from my allotted line item of 55 for that purpose.
Okay. Any objection? Hearing none, go ahead. All right, moving on to item number 10, approval of minutes, 5 minutes. Mayor and council will vote on approving minutes for January 16, 2024 work session and February 06, 2024 legislative meeting. I'm going to put a motion on the floor to approve both sets of minutes. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, probably moved and second. Any discussion? Objections and tensions? Hearing none. Millie, your minutes have been approved unanimously, okay? And again, thank you for keeping us up to date. This is like the first time in many, many years that our minutes we don't have a backlog of minutes, and they worked maybe like, I think it was like 5 years worth of minutes, but so we have not only the current minutes, but backlog of minutes that we needed to on it to be in compliance. All right, perfect. Item number 11, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Yeah, you have to say the whole thing.
I muted myself too
Move
fast.
and
Sorry.
second discussion. Hearing none. All right, it's been no objection, extensions. Hearing none. It has been approved. At 7:42, the meeting has come to an end. Thank you guys so much.
Great
All right.
job, everyone.
Thank
I
you.
know. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Thank you, staff. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bright and early. Take care.